Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs at Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs, business people, and Clark Dessoye from the Arizona Correctional Industries from the state of Arizona Department of Corrections. And you better than I explain what you're all about.
Well, unlike most of the entrepreneurs you have on here, I'm more of a resource for entrepreneurs.
All right.
We're a state agency. We're part of the Department of Corrections. Our mission is to find job training skills opportunities for the inmates. So we have several industries that we run ourselves within the prison complexes, doing everything from metalwork to woodworking to sign making to printing and a bunch of other stuff we do for the inmates themselves. Like we sew all their clothes for them. We grow a lot of, we run a bakery where we make baked goods that the inmates will turn around and eat from our factory. But the big thing that I think of is we're a resource for private businesses. Right now we have, I think, about 20 different, we call them labor contracts with private businesses. And what that means is the businesses themselves employ the inmates.
All right.
So they can either, the inmates can go in a bus every day out to their facility, like Hickman's Egg Ranch, where we send 300 inmates a day, or they can, the employer can come in, we can set up some kind of operation for them inside of a prison complex. Right now we have a 200-seat call center we helped build out in the Perryville prison, where Televerity does a lot of their work. So those are the two ways we can do a labor contract, either have the inmates go out to their facility or come in. But either way, the important thing for us is the private business is teaching them real world job skills.
So that the idea is that when they exit the correctional system, the fact that they learn a skill within that environment will hopefully make them better citizens and reduce recidivism at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Is that the ultimate goal?
That's our main goal, is to reduce recidivism rate. And so far, studies have shown that ACI overall helps reduce the rate by 33%. Some of our labor contract partners have seen even better rates. Televerity, for instance, does track it. We're terrible at tracking it, but Televerity's tracking the people, the ladies that work with them, and they've gotten the recidivism rate down to like 9%, which is phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. Yeah, that is phenomenal.
That's much better.
Yeah.
And so that's the model we want to use going forward to help get there. And I'm encouraged that the department itself is making a huge push and a recommitment to helping inmates on the reentry process. In fact, last spring, they reorganized the whole Department of Corrections and created a department called Inmate Programs and Reentry, focusing on that aspect of what we do as the Department of Corrections.
I gotcha.
Until recently, they've seen their mission as just keeping the community safe by keeping these people behind where they're supposed to be and making sure that's a safe environment. And ACI has helped with some of the job training, and we do classes. We actually have our certified high school. You can get your high school diploma while you're incarcerated if you're somebody that's in there without having finished high school.
Right. It comes to why wouldn't you, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, utilize the services of a captive labor?
Yeah, they show up for work every day.
Well, no choice, right?
The other benefits are you don't have to pay FICA, you don't have to pay those health care benefits, you don't have to do any of that stuff. And it's almost like an apprenticeship or an internship program. You're teaching them how you want them to do your business, the different roles in your business, the way you want them to. And the fact that they show up every day on the bus or wherever they happen to be working with you, it gives you the opportunity to do that. A lot of the labor partners we work with have been challenged with keeping people coming in. I mean, working on a farm is no fun. Working at a call center where the turnover rate is notoriously through the roof.
Sure.
You're spending a lot of your as an employer, you're spending a lot of your resources training people constantly.
Constantly, correct.
So if you have this pool of 200 or even 20 or 30 people that shows up regularly. You can train them once, and they keep showing up, and then you can give them more guidance and get them to the next level of whatever it is they're doing. I mean, we have a call center down in Tucson where they get bonuses for meeting goals, and there's people down there that are making $20,000-$30,000 a year in bonuses.
I'll be darned. Now,
so they have a nice nest egg when they get out.
And I was just going to ask you, so the employer is not paying 6 cents an hour or 6 cents a day or 10 cents a day.
The employer is paying at least minimum wage.
At least minimum wage.
And then a lot of the ACI overhead and administrative costs and security comes out of, is the differentiator. And sometimes, depending on how big or small the workforce is, there might be additional charges.
All right, so they put this whatever they pay to the they put it in some kind of trust or some kind of account where
all the money comes through ACI and through the department, and it's they do all the banking and payrolling for that, and they're required to take out certain deductions if you make over $2 an hour as an inmate, which a lot of them do that are working for our labor contracts. They take out room and board. They'll take out any kind of restitution that the court ordered that you pay, and it gives them a chance to pay their child support and things like that, because they're actually earning money.
Mark, if you're an entrepreneur and you are in need of 50 people, 100 people to do calls or to make calls, to have why would you not take advantage of this program? I mean, I'm just trying to think. I mean, everything that you've described thus far makes perfect sense, makes a heck of a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Is there an industry that is prohibited or an industry that
there are some restrictions, but then there's also ways around those. The big restriction is any inmate working for us can't make a product that goes out of state.
Okay.
But if they work for one of our partners, we can set up a program so that it can go out of state, but it's just structured a little differently. So, I mean, there is a kind of restriction, but not really.
And this involves goods and services. I mean, they can be making things or...
Well, I mean, telemarketing, that obviously you're going to be calling out of state, but that's not considered under that. Any agricultural product that can go into interstate commerce. We're working for a trucking company. We repair the trucks for Swift Trucking, and they go all over the country. So it's they're based here. So I think that's what makes it work for that.
It is to me. Again, I'm trying to process why a local company would not take take advantage of this labor pool. I mean, it just
there's a stigma against people in prison. They're like disposable people a lot. You don't think about them that often, and you figure they're there because they're bad or they're duty. But the fact of the matter is 95% of the people in prison today will be getting out at some point. They're not all in for life and whatever, or to be put to death. 95% of them will be out, and they'll be our neighbors. They'll be part of our community, and we can make a difference. We can either have them come out the same way they went in, or we can have them come out with something new, with another take on life, with a better sense of what it's like to work and be a part of a team and be a part of an organization, and that's what we're trying to give them. We're trying to set them up with those businesses that are willing to work with them now, and for our labor contracts we've had for a long time, they've been very successful at hiring these folks after they get released.
And that was going to be my last question. I mean, what are the chances of everything is okay while you're inside and I can employ you, but now when you're outside, do these companies actually offer these people jobs?
Yes, in big numbers.
That's great.
Big part of Hickman's management team is former inmates. They have former inmates running complete plants at Hickman's.
Well, it makes sense.
Because they know them. They worked with them for 5 or 10 years before they got released.
Makes sense.
They came out. They knew what they were all about. Their enthusiasm for the work, and
they know the internal culture as well.
And they know the culture, and
of course
they know that this one person probably went in. It first started with Hickman's doing one thing and then said, "Oh, I want to learn how to drive a forklift," and they taught him how to, got him certified to do that. And then he said, "Well, I'd like to know how to run that line." And it just gives them all an opportunity. I mean, Hickman's was literally in their backyard 20 years ago in Glendale. That was Hickman's Egg Ranch.
Wow.
Now they have 3 big production facilities just in Arizona, and they provide eggs from the Mississippi all the way to California. They're huge, and they employ hundreds and hundreds of people, in addition to the ladies and men that still work for them from the inmates population. So it's been a very successful program for them.
That is
And they're always happy to talk about it, which is a wonderful thing. The Hickman family has been very supportive of this whole project from the beginning, and they're still very supportive of it. And they feel like, you know, if they can take somebody that's in prison and turn them into a tax-paying citizen who can pay their taxes and be a good part of the community, that's what more can you ask for out of a company?
That's sure, and
Or-
that's a way of
yeah.
themselves. They've given something back to the community
Exactly.
by giving these
Yeah,
people.
and that's just a small part of what they give back to the community.
I can imagine.
They're great. Thank
Clark
you.
Dessoye. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. That's incredibly informative. With that, we're out.